Evening call to order the Town of St. John Plan Commission study session for January 7th, 2026. Would invite all that are able to stand for the pledge, please. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Ms. Abernathy, can we get the roll call, please?
Justin Nestor.
Present.
Colin Entwistle.
Present.
Rudy Bambick is absent. Russ Vogel is absent. Tommy Balicki.
Present.
John Gill.
Here.
Bill Manisopoulos.
Here.
Adam Decker.
Here.
John Dykstra.
Here.
Ashley Abernathy present.
All right, agenda item number 4, old and new business. Item A, 2026-01 Shillings addition. Mr. Slager, good evening.
Good evening, Jack Slager with Shillings, representing the property owner here. I was here last month explaining that we are being required to put in a one-lot subdivision so that we can put an addition on one of our warehouses just north of the lumberyard. We did attend the BZA earlier this evening and received the 3 developmental variances that were required to facilitate this one-lot subdivision. So that would be the 50-foot of frontage where 90 foot is normally required, and the no frontage road, and the post frame building in the US 41 overlay district. So those 3 variances were granted, and so yeah, we'd like to come in at the next meeting and hold our public hearing for the one-lot subdivision so that we can go for a building permit for the addition to the warehouse.
Questions, comments, anyone? It's pretty straightforward.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's very straightforward.
This is a very straightforward thing. Jack, if you just want to have Cam swing by the office at some point in time tomorrow or Friday and pick up the sign with us on the car.
Great, will do.
All right. We will see you back in 2 weeks.
Great, thank you much.
Thank you. Item B, 2026-02 Lucky Central St. John subdivision. Mr. Huss, good evening.
Good evening. My apologies again for not being here a month ago when I was double booked. This is my first opportunity to present this project for you at study session. This is a one-lot subdivision and a proposed development at currently unaddressed parcel on the east side of US 41, immediately north of 85th Avenue. As part of the platting process, it will soon become 8575 South Wicker Avenue. First, a bit about the petitioner who's here with me tonight. Mr. Manhani operates a total of 12 quick-run gas stations and counting, convenience stores in Indiana and Illinois. He has some more recent stores at 9337 Indianapolis Boulevard in Highland, which opened now what I would believe is actually 2 years ago. Construction is nearing completion at 5601 US 30. That's at the southwest corner of US 30 and Burr Street. He owns businesses in Crown Point. His operations are locally owned, locally managed. He's a resident of your town, St. John, and a Lake Central parent as well. His standard development are otherwise standard gas stations, some with EV charging, but most importantly, almost all are attractive inside convenience stores, typically all masonry buildings, which you see on the screen before you. His normal development style already meets the high standards for towns such as St. John and their overlay districts. Some of his locations, which is the case for this location, serve an auxiliary user with a single drive-through lane in the rear of the building. User for this location is not known, but think something like a Wingstop or coffee sales. His stores typically have business hours of 5 a.m. to 11 p.m., and some of his stores offer 24-hour credit card sale gasoline. This being a work session, provide you a synopsis of the work that's been done to date. In September of 2025, we first approached the BZA for certain development variances and most importantly a use variance, as any gas station in the town of St. John requires a use variance. That was granted and then passed by town council. As of the meeting just before this one, we did receive some supplemental development variances. So what you see before you in your packets is 100% above board. We're not waiting on any contingencies from BZA any longer. A full engineering package has been submitted to the town for the site plan that's in your packet. Their initial review, John's initial review was completed yesterday. We're in receipt of that, and we'll turn around that shortly, as well as incorporate any input that is received at this meeting tonight. Project bounds US 41, an NDOT permit will be required. And NDOT review times are not fast by any means. There's no way to say it. We did in early November submit a traffic study. We had an initial kickoff meeting with the state. This specific lot, as it pertains to access, when it was potentially a live-in tire and auto, or that was the thought for it, the access locations for the driveways are preordained. So we completed the traffic study. We're waiting for review comments back, but we are very confident that driveways can only be where they're demonstrated. We do expect that NDOT will require median delineators on US 41 to prevent left turns out of this development. The developer is aware of that. That was kind of right off the bat when we had our kickoff with NDOT. So we have completed this study. It was submitted to the town, but I do believe it's kind of more of a formality at this point. But as much as I wish I wasn't, we do expect, hopefully in another 6 weeks from now, to be requesting approval contingent on providing that NDOT permit, which we do appreciate the town has been gracious enough to do in the past for other projects. And actually, if you could scroll to the landscaping plan, please, which was actually a topic of conversation at BZA. What I would like to show off most about the development is how, I know it's kind of surprising to say when we're talking about a gas station, but there is a substantial ugly ditch that currently bounds the west along US 41 and stretches along the south property boundary that carries a culvert under US 41, and then south and then east to Bingo Lake. As part of the negotiations or variance process, and partly because it works for the site, the developer intends to basically fill in that ditch, take the water underground in a pipe along the north boundary of the proposed detention pond. And what that's going to allow, aside from the landscaping you see here today, the front yard will finally look like a front yard. We will no longer have an overgrown ditch. And I do think when this project is done, the visuals of this property, which quite frankly don't look that great today, will be truly transformational. I think it's going to be a project that Mr. Manhani is going to be proud of, I'm going to be proud of, and I think when it's all said and done, the town will very much as well. That's kind of my prepared remarks. Mr. Manhani is here tonight. Should there be any questions I cannot answer, but as this is a work session, we are looking forward to any and all input Plan Commission members have.
Questions, comments from the town?
So, Mr. House is absolutely correct. He has received all variances that he needs for this project, including landscaping, use for the gas station, use for the drive-through in the US 41 overlay district, locations and everything like that. Additionally, he has submitted full engineering plans that, like Mr. Said, that John has provided a letter for today or yesterday.
Yesterday.
Everything is in order for the primary plat. This has been circulated to Public Works, Public Safety, police, fire was good with the turn radius. The one thing is making sure that there's either the fire hydrant or shut-off valve, the typical fire safety by the building, so that way in the event of emergency, they have that access. And then the only comment from Public Works is that where the water main is going to dead end, that there is a auto flush valve or something of the sort, so that way they can flush the water main every so often to make sure that the water doesn't stagnate there. Mr. Huss has been made aware of those comments and has talked about with next submission, those will be in there. So I look forward to seeing those on the next submission, and I'll get it recirculated to Public Safety as well as Public Works to make sure their comments have been met at that time. Otherwise, they will be providing or requesting a waiver for sidewalks along US 41, but they will be providing them along 85th Avenue from where 85th, where the sidewalk currently terminate from the bank and go towards where their entrance egress is kind of more at. And then when it gets closer here, there's not really the space or capacity to do it, so they're just gonna kind of terminate it there and head towards the gas station. But then that'll provide people to the south and, either, walking down or leave it, be able to access there should they want to.
Yes, and I appreciate Ashley mentioned the waiver. I did skip right past that in my remarks. Obviously, once we get the traffic study finally blessed so we can move on to the NDOT permit process, we'll then coordinate the addition of pedestrian signal so that crosswalk can be made safe. And the primary reason for the waiver on US 41, which we've kind of talked about in past meetings, unrelated projects, is that there's a very, very developed sidewalk network on the west side of US 41, and there's a lot of challenges to ever bringing it on the east side of 41. We have, I mean, not here, but northern developments, if you put a sidewalk even right on the private side of the right-of-way line, you'd be cutting through multiple parking lots of multiple developments leading to potential parking issues for there. And there's, at least the opinion of other waiver petitions is that doing it hodgepodge and encouraging pedestrian use on the east side of 41 might not be the best idea, when it's better to encourage them and give them an ability to get to the west where there is a route.
We dealt with that for scooters, right?
Correct. Same philosophy.
Anyone else, questions, comments?
Is there a sidewalk on the other side of that drive on 85th?
Yes, there is. Yes.
On the bank side?
Yes.
It runs all the way to the tracks, I believe.
I'm inverted right now.
I was gonna say, this is upside down.
It is. We were looking at something else at the BZA. So here's the bank, and it's kind of, it crosses 41 here, and then
Yep.
it kind of terminates here, and then it goes down 85th, so it's
Okay.
along here.
Yeah, I was looking at the north side of that street, and I don't see
Yeah.
anything, so, yeah, okay, that makes sense to me.
It just kind of follows here from the Bentonville. So we can go from.
Yeah, and realistically, the current stub that goes north to nowhere today, I think realistically that goes away, and the corner keeps going, and the functional change to any turn lane storage would be 5-10 feet at most. Whereas if we carried the east one, we'd probably not something we want to do.
I can't remember, but is this in a floodplain zone? Can't remember. Where we had something else happening near Bingo Lake, and that was a concern.
Yeah, it is, as part of the design project process, something that wasn't done was a flood study. I didn't perform it. It's, in fairness, it's a bit over my head. We did have a sub-consultant worked on it. That has been submitted to the town to flesh that number out. Some of Engineer Dykstra's comments were, there is another step as far as codifying that through a letter of map revision, but the study was never done originally. It was done as part of that project and is on file with the town.
That's all.
Mr. Dykstra, anything other than your letter that's on the back to them?
Not right now.
Not right now.
No. No, if you have more questions about how the floodplain or map revision would work, I could answer those.
Okay.
Or I could explain it. So I did review the study by their sub-consultant. It was very well put together, very well presented. It was clear, I understood it. I didn't find any objections to it. I really didn't even have any comments on the study itself. The BFE was sensible in this case with the circumstances of the watershed. And because and I'm not sure what previous owner maybe filled in a portion of Bingo Lake in the past, in the last, say, 15 years that took place, they never modified the map to correct the new boundary, and apparently never studied what the BFE was. So normally to do a map revision, you'd have something to base it on. When it's unstudied, FEMA will make their best guess determination to compare to it. So that was never done. And so I did ask DVG to pursue it's called a letter of map revision based on fill, which this was filled. And so they're not too complicated to obtain, and they've got most of the background that they would need to get that determination. So, yeah, it'll make a much cleaner parcel for them and for their client going forward, and should address any insurance issues that anyone could bring up. So,
All right.
Just for timing schedule, they will be back on the 21st for the hearing for the one lot subdivision. Provided all goes well on the 21st, they will be back in February for the site plan consideration.
All right.
Thank you very much.
We'll see you back. Item C, 2025-22, the Unified Development Ordinance.
So first, I am pleased to announce that I have the newspaper advertisements out, as well as our signage posted out front for our public hearing. So we will be in order for our 21st public hearing. Mr. Unschway did provide a comment slash feedback to me just shortly before the meeting that he would like to see in all commercial districts where feasibly possible that any developer move the parking to be located in the rear instead of in the front along the road to try and promote more increased walkability from commercial development to commercial development, as well as from residential to commercial. So that is a revision that I will make sure is made prior to the 21st public hearing. Additionally, I have submitted to the Plan Commission a proposed map update. As you can see, a majority of the map is still remaining primarily that larger residential that it currently is today, with the classification of most of it being considered estate residential, some residential neighborhood conservation, which is that district that we created to provide preservation to already existing subdivisions that were done a long time ago, as well as creating some of the suburban and some of the general. But again, it's following suit to how it's currently either been zoned today or has received zoning in the past. I used the current zone map to kind of rate how this map is laid out and functioning. And this is going to be considered a base zone map because there are some planned unit developments that have been passed that the zoning is staying on that property, like the Grove just recently received their approval. The Gates of St. John is the PUD, and with the extensions that still keep going, those PUDs are staying in place. The Preserve Original and Preserve West, Graceville, so all Park West, all those are still identified as PUDs, but it's just showing what the space under zoning would be for that. So please take a look at this map. Any questions, comments, concerns, or if you see anything that needs to change, please let me know. But otherwise, I'll make sure this map is also online for the public to view, as well as a cleaner draft version of the ordinance that's going to be for public hearing. The only chapter that I have not heard back from our legal on at this time is chapter 10, which is administration and enforcement, and I'm sure I will have comments back from him well within time to make any additions, changes, or revisions to it before our public hearing.
All right. Questions, comments? Then we'll deal with that one in 2 weeks. Agenda item 5, adjournment.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Have a good night.
Good night.